I'm Cheyenne, and I'm super excited to start our latest Phys Gig in Physics Sewalong. And we're so excited to be on board with Kylie from Little Mood Designs to do her Tainted Love clutch pattern. We've got lots of great prizes for this Sewalong, so we're really excited to get through this and see everybody's makes. And we're so excited by all the sponsorship we've had during this whole process. I'm sorry it's taken so long from the announcement until now. However, with everything going on in the world, it's been a bit crazy, and so we've figured that it was best to give everybody heaps of time to get prepared and get organized, since things kind of are unknown. Today is day one of our Sewalong, and so for day one of our Sewalong, we will be doing all the preparation work. So if you've already done the preparation work, that's completely fine. It means you're ahead of all of us. If you have yet to do it, that's also fine. So our Sewalong will be 1 week. There will be 6 days of actual videos and work and 2 days with catch up. So it should be pretty slow paced. We're trying to break it down into good solid sections, and that way everybody can kind of keep pace. If you want to work ahead, please feel free to work ahead. If you are happy to keep at our pace, then just wait for our daily videos and feel free to ask questions in the group. I know that the tagging is not working in our Facebook group in the event. If that happens, you can message one of our admins, you can message me, you can message any of the other PhysGig admins. It'll get back to us and we'll be able to help you out. So day one, without further delay, day one will be getting all of our supplies ready. So I've kind of sat down with my supplies for one of my bags. I will be making a few, so you may see different prints with me throughout my videos, because I'm going to be making a couple for you. The first one I'm going to be making, so there's 2 sizes of bags you can make. There's a small size bag or a large size bag. And the first one I'm going to do is just a small size bag without the wrist strap. So I won't be needing, for the small size, I won't need a D-ring and I won't need the swivel clip, but I will be using those and doing a wrist strap for you as well. So be sure to check and double check your supply list. If you come across something that you're missing, you still have time to go run out and get it. However, coming across something that you either don't have enough fabric for or don't have it at home can make it quite frustrating. So just be sure for day one, check and double check, and then that way you can get through the rest of the week without trouble. After you've checked your shopping list, gathered your supplies, and printed your pattern, which I have here. Let me see. I have my pattern. Looks like this. Some of you may have already printed it. Test square in the top corner. Please test it. If your test square isn't quite right, the whole pattern will be off and you'll end up with zippers that aren't quite long enough or anything else. So just go ahead and test it, and it makes life a little bit easier down the line. Next, we're going to talk about the cutting chart. So it looks like this. Let me see. That's our cutting chart, and it's actually really quite great. So Kylie from Little Moo, she's the owner and designer of these patterns. She has been so wonderful, and she has included a cutting chart. It's on page 7 of your PDF. Please cut this and print this out, so that when you start cutting things out, you have it right there. It tells you every single thing that you need, how many you need, and you can tick it off as you go, so you know you have it. So it will help once you get into the course of the bag making to know that you have everything you need right there, ready to go. One of the other things about this is that when you read the cutting chart, you'll also start to notice there are things on here that aren't in the pattern. So there's not pattern pieces for some of these things, because it would be a waste of paper and things like that. You can just measure and cut. So pocket pieces, card slot pockets, etc., wrist strap, you need to measure and cut. And so the cutting chart will really help with that. So be sure to print that page 7 of your PDF. Another thing, save you some heartache later, pre-wash your fabric. Just pre-wash your fabric, especially if you're using cotton. Don't worry so much about pre-washing leather or synthetic leather, whatever you're using. If you need any help, if you don't know, then just ask in the group. So I've chosen a small bag. I've gathered all my supplies, I've printed my pattern. So now what will happen is I will tape and assemble all my pattern pieces. So this pattern is quite lovely, and Kylie has worked really hard, and you can tell. So in this pattern, she has all your joined spots. So it tells you what to join together and where. And so I will join my pattern together. I like to use, some people do the A4 patterns. I like to just do the A4 patterns. So it makes really not much of a difference at this stage, because you're gonna have to cut and join it no matter what. All right, once we've assembled the pattern, we can start cutting our fabrics. Be sure, so here's my pretty fabrics. So I'm using just a plain, this is a quilting cotton, black polka dot, something kind of just plain to offset my amazing Fizzgig synthetic leather, which I absolutely love this print, it's so pretty. But if you notice in this print, all of the birds are one direction. So make sure you fussy cut, because you don't want a bag with the birds upside down. So check and double check yet again. So I will cut out my fabrics and my interfacings, and Kylie has mentioned in the pattern that using a rotary cutter and mat make this a lot easier. So I have my rotary cutter and mat ready to go. We've got our supplies together, we've got our pattern, we've got our fabrics, we've cut them out, and then once we've done that, we can fuse our interfacing. So follow the directions of the interfacing you have. Again, if you don't know, ask. It's pretty easy to iron on your interfacing, and once we've done that, we're done, we're ready to go. A few things we're gonna note as it's day one. Please be sure to read and read again. That's probably going to be my biggest advice throughout this whole thing, is do it once and double check it, because we want to make sure that we're doing it right. You don't want to have to go back and cut it again or redo the whole thing. Another thing that we have is that if you really want to, when you get to your interfacing step, you can interface your synthetic leather or vinyl or whatever you're using if you feel you need to. So my synthetic leather is I feel like it's quite stable. I don't really feel like I'll need to interface, so I probably won't interface my synthetic leather. And if you've bought the Fizzgig synthetic leather, you may feel you don't want to either. There are some types of leather or synthetic leather that are much softer, much more pliable, and you may want to interface those. And when you do, you need to be extra careful, because they will be easy to harm, rather. But yeah, that's day one. I'm gonna go do my pattern, and I'm gonna cut my fabric, and I'm gonna interface, and I'll be back. And we'll see you for day two. Bye guys.